Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to continue showing you how to set up your 360 application through the application settings folder here. So if you're logged in, go ahead and select your application settings folder from the top left of your screen, and you'll come to our menu. In this particular video, we're going to go through labor rates. So go ahead, you'll see on your menu on the left, go ahead and select that. Now, throughout 360, you'll note that whenever you're creating jobs and quotes, that you're able to have any number of preset labor rates. So there's no limit to the number that you can have. And so this is where these items are controlled. So as you can see, I've got some default ones set here just for demonstration purposes, but I'm going to go ahead and add them. I'm going to add one more here, and we'll call it Now I'm going to save this, and you'll notice that it just adds it to the list, and then there's a space to add more. These little arrows that you see here allow me to click and drag these and change the order. So what this does is when you're creating jobs and quotes, it will allow you, this is the order in which these items will show up on the drop-down or in the list. So you can control them here. So I want to pay attention to over here on the left, or on the right, I'm sorry, under billable rate. This is what you're going to be billing out to the customer. On the inside, these numbers here gets into a little bit of accounting, but I'll explain it a little bit, and then we have some other videos here that talk about setting up the accounting structure in here. But the long and short of it is, if I'm billing out a laborer at $110, and I'm paying that labor, let's say you're paying him $45 an hour. There's two ways to do this. You can put in $45, and this is going to then, when you're creating metrics and reports, it's going to play back your balance sheet or your profit and loss without interpreting your overhead. So if you're like me, a lot of times I want to have those things built into this. So what I would do is, if you're paying someone $45 an hour, and your overhead is 30% or 35%, or your markup is to include that in the labor rate that you see here. So let's change this to let's go down to this one, which is $100. So if I'm paying someone $40, but I want to mark that up by a certain percentage, then I would mark it up and put that amount in here. So it's actually going to be 65. Now what that's going to do is, when we're doing reports and balance sheets, profit and loss statements, it's going to include your overhead, the things that are covered in your accounting software like QuickBooks, but it's going to average them out and give you a more realistic profit margin on your work as it's going. So there's more about that in other videos, but when you're putting this in, you can, one, leave it blank, but you can also put in two different types of values. One is just the, your wholesale cost of labor, or you can include your margin and your operating costs in that, get a more realistic number. Different ways you can do it. Most importantly, this is the area here where you create the labor rates that propagate through the rest of the system when you're creating jobs and quotes. So there's no limit to the number of them that you can have in here. Again, when you create new information, always remember to hit save. And there you have it. All right, in the next video, we're going to go into some other areas here like locations, quotes, and job requirements. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.